Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jessica, the immigrant teacher. Here we work together to empower families, students, and educators to thrive. So basically, we get practical tips, expert guidance, and proven strategies to succeed in school, teaching, and lifelong learning. All you have to do is subscribe, comment, like, and share our content. And let's grow together.
Welcome to today's episode with Jessica, the immigrant teacher. I am new to this platform, so the best thing you can do for me is just to subscribe, just engage with our posts, and we'll see how it goes. There is a lot of information to put out there, and that's what this platform is about. Um, I today I have the privilege of chatting again with Mr. Yaw Abbrey, and Mr. Yaw is currently a teacher in the United States of America, and hopefully he doesn't bully me like we've been receiving from their leadership. So yeah, but he's a brother. He's a brother, and he's been amazing. And I just want to say thank you for helping me, put this whole thing together, and for your patience. And yeah, we know what time means. Like, this is Monday,
Yeah,
right? So thank you very much. Can you
you're welcome.
quickly tell us about Mr. Yor so we can know more than just your name?
Okay, so guys, my name is Yaw Abbrey. It's Yawabbrey, and Yaw is a Thursday born's name for every male child in Ghana, specifically in the Ashanti region of Ghana. So I came to the US in 2023 on a cultural exchange program. And what I do is I'm always happy to let people also know my journey from home to this place. By God's grace, through my efforts, a lot of teachers, not from only Ghana, but from other parts of the world, have gotten teaching jobs in the US. So basically, that's what I do. And I have a YouTube channel with the same name. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook. So any place you just type the Yaw Abbrey, you're going to find me there if you want to know what I do more. That's it.
Thank you very much. So, truth be told, Mr. Yaw Abbrey has. So I'm saying yo, and I think I heard you say yow. So
It's Yaw.
I need to get
Yeah.
that right. I cannot not say it right. So Yao, yes. So Mr. Yao has a lot of information about teaching, employment, and even employment that can lead to migration to. And I don't think he's limited. He has a lot of information about the US, but I think he's got a lot more than just things that would favor you if you're looking at the US, because you can have one information and then it's applicable to another region, like maybe Canada
Yeah.
or other places that you're looking out for. So he's somebody that you want to check out. He's someone that you want to follow. He's someone that you want to, like, you have to reach out to him. And to get him like this, I know it's not free, so it's a privilege.
Oh, mine it's always free. I've had people even calling me at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I can't remember last year. The guy is currently in Mississippi here teaching on H1B. So I came with J1 visa and he was coming with H1B. So it was very new to him. And this guy never let me sleep in peace. 1 a.m., 2 a.m. He never considered the time zones. So I'm always there to
And that
help.
can be
I think
frustrating.
very, very frustrating. But I usually try not to complain because it's a whole joy when I'm able to help people. Yes.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
I I want to commend you for that. I wish many people will, come on board to do that. It's one of the things that drives me. I just realized that there is a lot of information that needs to be put out there. And I said, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I can do this so that I can help other people, right? So
Yeah.
it's always a privilege to see a colleague who has vision that kind of aligns with what you're thinking or what you have for yourself. So it's a pleasure to talk to you today. So we have quite a couple of questions. I told you I had some concerns. Now
Yeah.
you've talked about J1 and HB, and so I don't think I want to heavily, go towards the classes of visas, but maybe when you talk about teaching jobs, and maybe you can mention the kind of visa one can get with it. So,
Okay.
but before we get to all of that, can you tell us about your background? Like, how did you get into teaching, and what did you study? What have you been doing?
Okay. So I've already introduced myself as a Ghanaian, so I'll just go straight to my educational background. I schooled in Ghana in the Ashanti region, and I I was fortunate to be schooling in one of the best universities in Africa, which is Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. If you don't agree, please argue with yourself.
I
It's
was
one of the
gonna,
best
I was gonna come to that. So I was gonna argue, because why would you say Africa?
in Africa. It's one of the best schools. I was even
Well, I don't. I'm
bumping
not
up in the
arguing.
world.
We hear about your university in Nigeria, so
Yeah, yeah.
I can say one of the best. So yeah, you're a loyal alumni, so you can go on with your claims.
Uh, so I schooled in one of the best universities in Africa, and I majored in visual arts, specifically painting. So I come from a family full of artists, and my dad told me I'm the type who don't like reading or sitting down to learn a lot. So he's not going to allow me to pursue science. When I was a younger kid, I was envisaging that I want to be a scientist and all that. But my dad knew that the art is in the family, so it wasn't important for me to swerve into something else. So I studied visual art in senior high school. I studied art in college or in the university. I completed in 2011. And let me go back a little bit. In 2009, there was an attachment that I went out to do. When I say attachment, I'm talking about internship. So in my class, most people were going to design firms, others were going to banking sector and a whole lot for their internship. But I opted to go into the fashion industry. And when I say fashion industry, I'm not talking about a well-structured one. We have normal tailors out there. They don't know much about academics when it comes to fashion, like how standardization works in the fashion business. So I just went there because I'm an artist, and motivated by my mom, he told me that yeah, we can do it. So just go in there and do it. So I went in, did my internship, and within 3 months, I was able to sew a shirt and a pants or a trousers. The reason why I'm bringing in this is because it culminates to what I am today and what I did back home in Ghana. So I completed school in 2011. In 2011, as every parent would want their kids to be enrolled in the public sector because they want to see the yields of their money that they invested in their student or in their child not
Yeah.
going to waste. So I was employed into the public sector in 2013, yes, 2nd May. So from 2011 to 2013, I opened up a men's clothing brand with the same
Oh.
name, Yaw Abbrey. So if you go to Google right now, you type Yaw Abbrey, you will see most of my brand over there. I've been sewing from 2009 till now. It's like, is it 16 years or 17 years? I've been sewing for 17 years. That is a part-time job that I do. I came to the US, I still have the brand. So that is it. And in 2013, I went into full-time teaching as well. My 9 to 5 job was that. I started teaching math and science in a village,
Hmm.
very, very underprivileged village for that
Yeah.
matter. So I was teaching math because I did elective math in senior high school. And say elective math, I'm talking about calculus, I'm talking about integration,
Okay.
trigonometry, all these complex subjects. But still, I was an artist, but I love math. So I was teaching math and science. And God being so good, I took underperforming students to a level for them to achieve honors in their junior high school exams. Two of my students who were in a village, they got two in math, two in science,
Hmm.
which really tells how good I was in math and science. But in my country where I'm coming from, if you go to study art, you are not considered for anything closer to science or any complex subject matter. So that is it. So I've been teaching. In 2017, I was also privileged to get a transfer into a senior high school where I now began to teach my major, which is visual art. So from 2017 to 2023, I was teaching visual arts in Ghana. So that is my journey from school to my last scene in Ghana. If I should
Hmm.
continue, I'll continue from there to where I am right now.
Okay. So you finally got to teach what you did, which didn't like your experience is interesting because
Yeah, very, very interesting.
what I love about what you just said is how, despite being someone that you came from the family of arts, that was where you were directed, like that was what it was going to look like for you, but somehow, even when we know that, oh, maths, science, because I'm looking at Nigeria and how if you're doing sciences, you have your class, like there is a class for science
Yeah.
students, so you're called science. So we have art class for art students like yourself, myself.
Mhm.
We have science class for those who love maths and chemistry and physics. And then we have social sciences for those who wants to do economics, bookkeeping and accounts and all of that. But you took your arts line and you pulled maths with you. And like I'll tell my students, there is always a difference between a tailor and a fashion designer. And I would also ask them, like, this is literal, and I hope, as like, I hope my students will see this and affirm this. And I would ask them, if I had like a bachelor's degree and I become a fashion designer, and then there is someone else out there who just maybe primary school dropout or something, and the person is also a fashion designer. Oh, they just shouted no, tailor. I was like, okay, and the person is a tailor. Who would you rather give your clothes to? And they said, you, who is a graduate, because you understand the dynamics and trends and how to, recreate designs. It will be easier to talk to you and, bring vision. Like you will even bring your own ideas and expertise live, right? So I can imagine how you, as an artist, you're already a creative, and then you bring in your math skill. It's
Yeah.
easy to just look at the fabric and you're just looking at the dimensions, and you're like, okay, we can get a shirt from this, we can get this from this. And maybe your subjects or people working for you be like, ah, boss, how do you know that? And you say, no, I've done the math. But it's it's commendable, and uh, it's something that I think we should even encourage our younger generation to
Yeah.
do, because I always tell people about how our Ministry of Education seem to limit
Yes.
students. So I am a student that loved English language. I love literature in English. But there were other things I think I would have been able to do even from the sciences or from social sciences, but it's just art class. And then they give you some subjects to choose from, and that's it. There are subjects that you cannot do because you're an art student. They'll tell me I can't take physics with my package. So I'm happy you are able to, and see how you were able to use that, you know, coming forward, like as you started teaching and then you got into, visual, like teaching arts from 2017 to 2022. And that's beautiful. it shows that you can do so many things
Yeah.
at the same time. So tell us about from 2022 till date. What have you 2022? Yeah, till date. What have you been doing, and how did you get to the United States of America and still a
Okay.
teacher?
Before I go on to your question, I just want to chip in this. So I've heard so many people saying that what is the importance of all those things we learned in school? And they are not seeing the impact of their current lifestyle or their current personality in this era. I was working on a peplum for a lady's blouse, and I wanted to work on the flare. When I say the flare, if I hope you know what a peplum is. So the blouse with the flare from the waistline downwards.
Yeah,
So I needed how I could get the flare to fit exactly at the circumference around the waistline. And I was just sitting there. Then time I didn't have enough books that I could refer from, and YouTube wasn't that popular because internet was very costly.
yeah.
So I just remembered that area of a circle, pi r square. So I just wrote down the pi and I measured the radius and I did the
Mm,
math. I was so surprised that after cutting the whole flare, it fitted so perfectly. It was then I realized that anything that our education department told us to study has a purpose in our lives. You may not be doing exactly what you learned in school, but it has interconnections from every sphere of life you find yourself. So I don't
yeah,
throw things. I do. People know me that I'm a master of all trade. I I I know a lot of things, a lot of things, because when I come in contact with something, I want to do my best and get something from it because I don't know what will happen in the near future. So that is it. Now you're asking me what happened after 2023. So in in the latter part of 2022, my wife had a principal in her school. My wife is also a teacher, an early childhood teacher, and the principal told her that he had a vision that her husband and her will be relocating to a foreign land. For me, growing up, I have had no interest in relocating abroad because my mentality is I can make Ghana a better place. So right from the time I was a kid, my dad was a shoemaker. He had his own business. He used the same business to take care of three kids. We've all completed university. One has completed master's degree. All the property that he's made, he used the shoemaking business. So no one can convince me that an entrepreneur cannot survive in Ghana. So I had invested so much in a vocational school that I wanted to set up. You can also look it up. It's Yaw Abbrey Creative Academy. I registered everything. I invested so much money into my class. You can just go to Instagram, you type in there, and you'll see my classroom setup. My first batch of students, I had all these. And my wife came to me. My principal said he had a vision that we were relocating to a foreign land. I said, go and tell your principal that's a lie. So I really wrote that off because it was so painful for me to leave all that I've invested in my country just in search of greener pastures, in quotes, because we're always thinking that the other side of the world is greener than where we are. So we were there, and a second prophecy came because the principal was doing ministry as part time. Second prophecy came. So my wife said, yeah, just give it a thought. And I'm someone who decides to research, I do it to the core. So I began to research, and Canada was a place that came in mind first because I know you coming to US was very complex, and then time Canada was the ish. It was easy to sail through. So I was just doing my research, looking at I could stay on YouTube whilst I'm creating people's clothes. my apprentices will be sitting down there, and my YouTube will be there, still cutting clothes and all that, doing some designs. So that's what I ate. That's what I watched. That's what I drank during that time. So I was there again, and my wife came to me and said, the principal said it is not Canada, it is US. So I had to refocus myself and re-strategize and start pursuing US. So I got to see some of my current seniors who also had a YouTube channel. And he started talking about how you can relocate to the US. I started praying to God because I told myself, jackpine is not my thing. I'm an entrepreneur. I teach alongside. I think I'm okay. So my wife was just saying that, yeah, you just give it a try. If it does not work out, just push it somewhere. So I started working on that. I put in 2 applications and an agency that sponsored teachers to this place. Then time, I think it was EPI, Education Partners Incorporated or International. I put in the application and I was denied. It was then that I got to know that people who have invested so much into their jackpot process can easily be devastated if they are denied a visa. I had not even gotten to the stage of getting a visa, just the initial stages. My application was denied, and I was sitting in my car. The air conditioning was on, but I could still feel there was some hotness in the car because I've been denied a chance to go to the US. And I tell God, God, I tried. At least I tried. So I pushed it somewhere. And my wife urged me on again. I put in a second application to a different agency. I'm pretty sure you're asking yourself, what agency is he talking about? I know Sister Jessica may ask, but since I'm talking, let me chip everything in so that we are able
Yeah.
to make it very concise. So
Yes.
when you want to come to the US, as a teacher, there are 2 routes. There is a route that you can come on a program that is called a cultural exchange program.
Mm-hmm.
As the name sounds, cultural exchange. So you have your Nigerian culture, you have your Ghanaian culture, you have your Kenyan culture, and the US government came out with a program. It has been there since the 90s, but most of us didn't know about it. So this program is all about you being given a non-immigrant visa to come to the US. You will learn something from the US culture, and they will also give you something in return. On this program, you will be recruited just like an American teacher, the same salary. Your experience counts in here. So if you have taught for 20 years, they will evaluate your experience. If it is at par with that of a US citizen's 20 years of experience, they'll give you the same thing. So that is what I meant by a cultural exchange program. You come here to take their culture and you also give them your culture. So that's that program. All right. So I applied to the second sponsor, and the second sponsor, I even forgot about them. I was there one day. I got a mail. You have an interview. I told God that, God, I'm not going. No, I'm not going to US. I'm going to work because I've invested so much in my business. I didn't mind them. 3 weeks, the message came again. You are being notified again that you have an interview. And I said, okay, what is the worst that could happen? Let me do the interview and forget about it. So I went ahead with the interview. It was just a self-made interview. So you sit right in front of your computer. Some questions will come on your screen, and you record yourself answering the questions. I think it was just 5 minutes video. So with that process, you are just introducing yourself. They will be checking for your accent. They will be checking for your eloquence. They will be checking for other things that they are seeking answers for, especially your teaching philosophy, your teaching methods, and other stuff. So I did that video and I forgot about it because I was still telling God, I'm not going to any place. Within 5 days,
You were Jonah.
Within
Jonah
5 days,
of Ghana.
within five
Yeah.
days, the feedback came, and this time they said I should write a test, a certain test as part of the whole process. And I said I'll not do it. I did not do the test. This time I had not tell my wife about all these processes because I had rescinded my decision of going to any place. Within days, they said I have an interview. This time, a principal's interview. I didn't do the test, hoping I'll be eliminated from the whole process. I don't know what God was doing. That part went off. The testing part went off, and they moved me further to a school in South Carolina where I'm sitting right now. I said, okay, since this is a principal interview, I shouldn't just let it go like that. So I prepped for the interview. I searched online and all that. Then time I didn't know anybody who has ever come to the US using my subject matter, because during my research I found out that it was the STEM subject, the science, technology, English, and the math people that were given a chance to come to the US. I can boldly say that I brought out the light to people out there that my subject area could also get a chance to relocate to the US using any other subject matter other than the STEMs. So I went in for the interview. It was virtual. I did it on my tablet. I remember that evening. After the interview, 3 days I was sitting there in school. I had an email and it was, congratulations, you've been offered a job in the US. So and so middle school. I was like, is this serious? It, I was very nostalgic. I was in a situation where it wasn't so fun because it was so hard for me to leave everything behind and come to the US. So I told my wife, and I still didn't enjoy about it because it was a sad moment. I'm very religious. I started praying about it. God, is it really you? Do you want me to go? I had several conversations with pastors. My dad is almost like a man of God. He's been to Bible school. So he's like that. He prays a lot. I had a conversation. He said I should continue to pray and all that. I do all the divine aspect of it. I still couldn't hear God telling me that, yeah, don't go. So I was very confused. So in 2023, around April, May, the thing was getting closer where I was supposed to go to Accra for my visa interview. I went for the interview, got the visa, and came back to Kumasi, put the visa down. I was still confused. God, should I go? I can't remember this night. I read Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. I was very much afraid. You are leaving everything behind to resettle in a foreign land. It was just like Joshua took the mantle from Moses.
Yeah.
He was very skeptical about the mandate. So with a conversation with God, God assured him that if he's going to do his part, he, the Lord, will do his part. So that was the only motivation that I had. I'm going to a foreign land. So if I'm going to do my part, God said he would do his part. And the funny thing is, all these times, I had never traveled outside Kumasi before. And all the information I consumed from YouTube was in here. And I was still struggling with my decision either to go or not. So I set up a YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel you are seeing right now was set up, I think, months before me coming to the US. And people were telling me that you have not traveled before. So how can you advise people on traveling? And this was my answer. There are some best coaches in this world, soccer coaches. They have never played soccer before, but they coach people very well.
Yeah.
So what you are saying doesn't make sense. And I was doing it in my local language. So those who are going to my YouTube right now, you can see my first 3 videos was my local language. And people were just laughing at me. Even in my school, people were just laughing at me. Oh, connection man, bad agent, traveling agent. We know you are always looking for money. But I had no traveling experience. But I was teaching people how to relocate to the US. or
Yeah.
because of the information I have downloaded into my head.
Yeah.
The same thing, because I was searching so much about Canada, I also had a friend who had admissions in Memorial University,
Newfoundland.
and the person who helped him with the application to Memorial University told him he was going to charge him 20,000 Ghana cedis. 20,000 Ghana cedis is like almost 2,000 Canadian dollars.
Wow.
He was going to charge him 2,000 Canadian dollars for the immigration part. He held me for free for the admission part. So the guy came to me and he said, "This is the situation." He wanted to also travel, but the guy said, "Come here, bring it." I know all this information in my head. So I was the person that did his migration, everything for him, for free. He is in Canada at the moment, and it's all
Wow.
because of something I wanted to help people for free. I had the information, and that was it. So in 2023, I landed. I think in July, I landed at JFK, stayed there for a couple of days, and I came to US as an art teacher on a cultural exchange program. And my sponsor was International Alliance. Is it Global? IAG is International Alliance Global. Okay, yes. International Alliance Global. So that is it.
Wow. What a
Mhm.
story.
Yeah.
So, did you travel with your wife the first time, if that's okay?
Okay, so if you want to come on the exchange program, it is very legal to bring all your family members.
Okay.
I'm not saying your grandfather, no,
Immediate
your
family members.
your immediate family or your nuclear
Okay.
family. So my wife and my certain number of kids could come with me on a trip.
Okay.
But to be very, very, very sensible on my part, I thought it wise that I'm going to a new land. You don't have experience at the place. So
First.
why should I bring the whole family with me
So
for us
struggle
to
together.
struggle together? No. So I came alone,
Yeah.
and God was so faithful. I got a Ghanaian teacher in the same school
Wow.
who hosted me for 2 years before I moved out to my own place. He hosted me for 2 years, and that's why I stayed. Got myself a car and other stuff. So I was sponsored by International Alliance Global. There are other sponsors out there. If you want to know more, you can just go to my YouTube channel. Every Saturday, I do live about it. I teach people for free how they can also get a job offer. These days, it's becoming highly, highly competitive. So I came for free. If you want to come to South Carolina specifically, there is an agency that charges nothing. They charges nothing. So they'll even pay for your air ticket. They will do everything for you. Or I have a teacher I interviewed. He came with only $150 to South Carolina. Everything was paid for. Everything was paid for. So I came alone for the initial part, but I know people who came with their family members, their wife, and I think 3 kids. Yeah, I know a lot of people who did that.
Okay. That's amazing. Just a quick one. Cultural exchange program
Mm-hmm.
allows you to move to the US with what category of visa?
Okay. So if you are talking specifically for the exchange program, the category is J visa. So J is for exchange visitors. So it is a non-immigrant visa. When I say non-immigrant, you have no intentions to stay after your program.
Okay.
And the program length is for 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
Formally, it is 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are lucky and the school likes your service, your attitude and everything, the principal could recommend you for extra 2 years. So the maximum is 5 years. Yes.
What do you do if
It's
you
a J
want to stay
visa.
more than 5 years?
So there used to be easier pathways to stay more than 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the the way out was a document we call waiver. So it is called a J1 waiver. A J1 waiver is a document that takes away the responsibilities of the J visa. When I
Mm-hmm.
say responsibilities and the conditions, one condition is a condition we call 212E rule. The condition states that after you have gained your experience in the US, okay, you are
Mm-hmm.
supposed to send that experience and the knowledge to your home country so that you can also use it to better your current teaching status or your experience. So you grab something in the US, and formally or by law, you are supposed to repatriate to your home country and share with your home country. That is it. So if you want to stay, you need the document I said, J1 waiver, which lately it is very, 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 very hard to get it because of the new landlord. Yes.
Okay.
There was an easy pathway, but these days it's a bit bleak. We really don't know how things are going. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you say because of the new immigration laws, does this difficult or this difficulty apply to those countries that have restrictions to the US, or is it generally difficult visa to get now, whether I'm Australian or I'm from England? Because I know, I'll give a typical example. As a Nigerian, I know there is embargo on
Yeah.
how we can move in the US. So is
Okay.
it applicable to countries like Nigeria that has that kind of limitation, or
Restriction.
it's generally
Okay. So
difficult?
this what happened. For the visa, it didn't used to be so hard. Even lately, people are still coming in. Always people are coming in. But the J1 visa waiver is the complex part. Let me chip in this. I have a follower who came to the US just in December 2025. And the moment he got his visa, within 3 days, Nigeria was blacklisted. Within 3 days. This gentleman had been worrying me so much for almost 2 years. He is a French teacher, and he has been following me so long, for so long. Another teacher is in Arizona. He's also an art teacher. He followed my footsteps and he came through the same sponsor that brought me. So at the moment, I haven't checked with the updates on the restriction from Nigeria, but what I know is that in 2025, I think it was in December when Nigeria was blacklisted. I don't know the current status of that, but Nigerians were coming in. Nigerians were really, really coming in. He came with French. I know someone who came with special education. She is it Philadelphia or Pennsylvania? Yeah, so Nigerians were coming in. But at the moment, if you want to stay after the program, which is the 5 years, there's a bit of challenge over that, as I said. So that one is the J1 waiver, which is so hard to get it. And let me explain what it is. So you would have to apply. There are two applications you need to do. One is you send a letter to your home country. So if you're from Nigeria, you get consent from your your country, asking them that if you do not come back to Nigeria, would it obstruct any proceedings of your teacher status? And your country will respond, no, you are allowed to stay. So that is the first part. It is called a no objection letter. So no objection means they are not telling you to come back. You can stay wherever you are. That is the
Hmm.
first part. After that approval, you would send another one to the landlord's headquarters. I'm talking about the USCIS.
Yeah.
And they are the overall boss of your stay in this country. So if they also approve that you have no business going back home, they are going to grant you stay. That is it. You will stay in this country. I know so many people who came through this same channel and they've gone through to become permanent residents. Yeah.
That's interesting. Thank you for that clarity. I know there is a lot of overhauling going on with immigration
Yeah.
in the US
A
right
lot.
now. Thank you for that.